The border dispute between Assam and Mizoram turned deadly on Monday after police forces from both sides opened fire. The gunfight ceased after Assam police personnel raised a white flag, a protective sign of truce or to symbolize surrender. The result of this gun battle was horrifying and left at least 6 Assam police personnel dead and 50 others, including a superintendent of police, injured. Netizens from both sides, along with the chief minister, took the blame again on Twitter, and now netizens from Mizoram brought up the hashtag Assam Shot First, which is currently taking social media by storm. Last Saturday, Amit Shah chaired a meeting of Northeastern chief ministers, and in the meeting, Mizoram Chief Minister Zoramthanga and Assam Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma shared the same table, seeking to resolve the border dispute, but little do they know that a bloody gunfight awaits.
Meron ngam phá mày hay. Meron này ngam khóc mày.
At approximately 11:30 a.m. on Monday, Assam Police, headed by the IGP, DIG, DC Kachar, SP Kachar, and DFO Kachar, arrived near the border CRPF camp to survey the disputed land. The Assam Police Party consists of around 200 police personnel and a convoy of vehicles with ambulance and buses.
नहीं करना है तो बोल दीजिए रिकॉर्ड सरकार सरकार এই নলবদে এটো এই মুখটার মুখা রেকর্ডিং চলে লবা আপনি ইসু नोटिस जो भी आप नहीं ले रहा ना नोटिस ले ले रहा आप ये नोटिस चलो निकालो
Assam authorities, along with 200 police, were said to attempt to defuse the situation. The trouble then flared up after Assam police personnel and villagers of Varengte engaged in a clash, resulting with at least 20 officials and civilians injured and vehicles damaged. The confrontation continued, and a volley of tear gas, canisters, and grenades were launched to disperse the crowd, followed by a 45 minutes long gunfight between Mizoram police and Assam police, which will be the starting point of an endless debate and the blame game. The Colosseum SP told the journalists that the first multiple shots rang out from Assam's side, while the SP Colosseum himself, along with his personal security officer and driver, were on the Assam police barricade holding talks. He said, "While we are holding talks, tension between civilians from both sides escalated, and that's when I heard shots being fired towards the Mizo civilians. At that moment, I was completely unarmed as I set out towards them to hold a peaceful conversation with my counterpart, but as Assam police fired shots towards our unarmed civilians, that's when Mizoram police forces opened fire. For a moment, I was completely numb when shots rang out from both sides, and I just happened to take cover behind a barricade. Thanks to my PSO's situational awareness, he grabbed me by my arms and we rolled down to a hill which connects to a CRPF camp. But we were denied protection by the CRPF forces, so we had to take cover by the bushes as we were technically behind the enemy lines as both sides exchanged heavy gunfire." However, the Assam government came up with a different story. According to a press release made by Assam, they alleged that the Mizoram police opened fire on the Assam officials and civilians. It was approximately 2 p.m. when our correspondent saw a post made by renowned Mizo journalist that shows a vandalized car with two occupants in it. The video then reveals the wrecked car, and the videographer then continues to allege some police of beating up the occupants and ransacking the vehicle. After 2 hours of confrontation and launching tear gas, all hell breaks loose when Mizoram police, reportedly already under heavy fire, were forced to open fire towards the Assam police forces to ensure safety for Mizo civilians. The video of the shootout surfaced on social media, and that's when the war of words began on Instagram and Twitter. Assam shot first. Assam drew the first shot. The words of a local journalist as he shouted with fear after he was caught in the middle of a crossfire. A Mizo local journalist was caught in between the line of fire as Assam police and Mizoram police exchanged heavy gunfire. In a viral video posted on social media, he can be heard shouting, "Assam shot first, Assam drew the first shot." Although he was in great fear for his life, he could not help but capture the horrifying sounds of gunfire. It seems like the new patriotic sensation hashtag Assam shot first came from the video taken by the journalist.
Ayan, firing order. Nagkadyo ka. Assam, shot first! Assam, draw the first shot!
45 minutes into the gunfight, both sides are dumping their magazine and the gun battle seems endless. However, the Mizoram police stopped their firing as soon as they saw a white shirt being raised into the air to signify surrender from behind a bunker from the Assam side. It was a moment of relief, but the adrenaline rush doesn't stop, and we are still staying very much vigilant even though the white flag was hoisted, says a Mizo police personnel who was on the scene of the shooting but who want to remain anonymous. According to reports, Assam police forces retreated after the ceasefire. Although the white flag of surrender was waved, it was too late for 5 Assam police personnel who were later declared deceased.
আপনার পার্টি করে গুলি পাই গেছে কানের সামনে থেকে আমার একটা গুলি পাই মরবো তারা মরবো কিন্তু
Convoys of ambulances from Silchar were dispatched to the scene as per reports, and several media outlets, including Mirror Now, reported that Silchar Medical College was packed with gunshot wound victims. A press release made by Assam government stated that 6 Assam police personnel succumbed to their wounds and more than 50 people were injured, including the Kachar SP who has a bullet embedded in his leg and is in the ICU. And Mizo renowned journalist Vanay Thanga, who went to the scene advising to say that 5 Assam police personnel were gunned down at the scene of the gun battle. Here is a list of Assam police units who have succumbed to the gunfight. Sopan K.R. Roy, Sub-Inspector of Assam Police; Liton Sukla Badia, Constable of Assam Police; M.H. Barbuya, Constable of Assam Police; N. Hussain, Constable of Assam Police; S. Barbuya, Constable of Assam Police. Well, Assam Police reported 6 deaths and many injured. Mizoram government on the other side say that there were no fatalities and seriously wounded individuals other than some civilians wounded by smoke gas canisters. After the 45 minutes long gunfight was over, Mizoram police forces reclaimed the duty post occupied by the Assam police. The duty post was said to be built by Mizoram government under MLF fund. Assam police forces fled the scene as soon as Mizoram ceased fire, leaving behind 2 police trucks, Merc police SUV and a jeep. Visuals surfacing on the internet shows that Mizo civilians ransack an unoccupied Merc Assam Police Bolero and unmarked Jeep. The Assam Police Bolero was also used by the Mizos as a shield while they were being allegedly shot by Assam Police. After orders from the Union Home Ministry came in, both states were told to stand down and withdraw their troops from the disputed land and were told that CRPF will take over to maintain peace and order. Although the Home Minister was quick to intervene, there was an uneasy calm along the border. At around 11 p.m., there was a bomb blast near the border, which was caught on camera by a Mizo civilian. However, tensions did not flare up due to the explosion, and the atmosphere of uneasiness covered both sides globally.
Tuna chuanin etlai chuanin atok tori a mase hi kan ministry te po anon thlenga tiang khianin boma puak tlat mai khulai khwan.
This unfortunate recent shootout between India's very own northeastern state is a black day for the North states. This particular matter is like a cloud in the blue sky. Some people see a tree while some see a big blue whale. Did the Assam really draw the first shot? And if so, will the Assam government ever admit to its wrongdoings? Was the shooting by the Mizoram government justifiable? If not, when will the Mizoram government apologize to the families of the Sukam police forces? The question remains unanswered, but we are sure of one thing, that this fatal gunfight can turn ugly or can be a hopeful turning point for both states to find common ground, to negotiate and hold peace talks. When will the central government fully intervene in the situation? When will the next violence erupt? Will the true state ever settle in peace, and will we ever witness the unity of the Seven Sisters ever again? This truly lies in the hands of the media and its people. In such a situation, critical thinking, discarding biased views and looking at things from different perspectives is crucial. Each one of us plays a critical role in shaping the future of the true states. Jai Hind. Anguralte, AMN.
वापस जाओ नीचे जाओ यहाँ मत आओ वापस उधर पीछे जाओ पीछे सबको जाओ अभी जाओ मैं 5 मिनट दे रहा हूँ आप
True IC yani
जाओ
additional